All right, everyone. We're live on
Hello, everybody.
live looking. Very excited because for like the past 2 weeks, this has been nearly impossible to set this up, and now we are good. We're back in style. We got everything fixed. Bob got my router fixed. I'll credit him that. I'll give him credit for that. He did it pretty great. Pretty simple, but pretty effective here. Just clicked like one switch, and now everything's like working again. It's amazing.
Yep, because Verizon wants to say they know what they're doing, but they don't.
Wow. All right, guys.
IPv6 is a necessary evil, but when you don't need it, you turn that crap off.
Yeah, it's crazy how.
There's a lot of network engineers right now. None of them listening to us right now, but at some point, some network engineer will hear this and go, like, what an idiot. What's he talking about? But
That'd be funny for like, hey, I'm a network engineer in a comment section. So I'm gonna record the Busch Gardens Williamsburg segment of the show.
Cedar Point fudged their records.
What?
Daniel's talking about he got his CP150 book.
What? Oh, he's talking about that on Coasters and Games.
Yeah. All right. What do I need to do?
Audacity.
Audacity's open. I gotta do a test, but I gotta do this first. Stand by.
A scream machine. The tallest and fastest scream machine. All right.
Technically, couldn't that be like an MP3 file on an MP3 player?
Yeah.
I mean, that would be a scream machine, right?
True. Anything that makes you scream, right? Any type of gaming system.
Indeed.
Makes me scream. Is the chat working? Are people in the chat? I'm not 100% sure because on my end it says I'm unable to connect the chat, but I feel like the chat should be
pop it out. It seems to be working.
All right, that's cool.
I sent a message successfully.
I'm not seeing that message. Oh,
well.
Yep.
Aha.
Right. Timmy's here.
Chelsea.
And Timmy's here.
Timmy.
Timothy. We have an audience tonight. We always have an audience, but we have.
This is going to be an odd podcast because I have to say something positive about SeaWorld.
You have to say something positive, and there's nothing negative in this week's show, really.
Wait, yeah, you're right. Oh man, what am I going to get mad about? Come on.
Holiday World impressed you and is now requiring masks.
Oh my God, everybody's doing good. What the hell?
Everybody is up to Bob's standards.
Oh man.
I mean, I guess the postponing attractions, but you can't get mad at that. You actually you understand that, so you can't be like, they're morons.
I was kind of expecting.
This is just not really news. I'm just gonna say it because it's actually coming from the parks now as official. You like Candamonia more now? You rode
the Ace podcast. Hey guys, there's roller coasters and they're really cool. Let's ride them. Everybody should ride roller coasters.
When someone comes on, I didn't like that roller coaster. What? How did you not like that roller coaster, man? That's the greatest thing on the planet Earth. Yeah, SeaWorld. Bob comes on there and goes, SeaWorld screwed me. No, it's all good, man. Everything's good, man.
They would revoke my membership.
Oh my gosh. Everything's chill, dude. We're just going. You just gotta roll with it, man. Roll with the punches, man. What are you talking about? Like, we're all like, oh, man. I don't know why we don't do this stuff on the podcast. I think we might get more listeners.
I know.
More,
Like,
more
seriously,
listeners,
we-
more viewers if we just like did jokes like this. I think people might like it more. Then we start the,
Just
po-
as soon as
then,
we
then
go
we start the
live, we
podcast.
should
We're like,
start
"Hello, everybody.
recording.
Welcome to Kosher Talk," and then we slowly get into that moment where like we start joking around again.
Hello, everybody.
We're like, "Hi, welcome to Kosher Talk."
Podcast.
It's like a podcast before the show. I swear we do a podcast before the show. And then you guys don't realize it, but like we get on an hour before and we discuss stuff. And it always ends up not being what we're supposed to get on to discuss the rundown and discuss, show stuff. And it's always like
And we don't
talking
do
about-
any of that until we go like, oh wait, we're supposed to go live in 10 minutes.
It's like 9:15
Shit.
and we're like, it's like 9:15 and we're like, oh wait, we're supposed to go
And
live.
it all it always ends the same way. What's the weekly poll gonna be?
Yep, and we're like, good question. All right, well, let's. We're here at the show. I'm gonna get Audacity up. I'm going to record our Busch Garden segment so I can post it to the YouTube channel either today or tomorrow. Probably tomorrow because, to be honest, I'm gonna be lazy tonight and not want to record a video for like 2 hours. I mean, edit a video. So have you tested your audio? Just making sure. Because I'm gonna test mine real quick. So, have you tested yours?
What's that? No, I didn't. I should do that.
I'm gonna do mine real quick. So.
Testing audio. Nope, I'm doing mine first. Right now. See, I beat you to it. Testing my audio. Testing my audio when James makes me mad. Testing. Oh, that was loud, actually. Well,
When James says something good about SeaWorld today, I'm going to be like, man. Whew. Yeah, they're doing
I actually think it's good. If you,
Alright.
if you don't make me angry.
I'm gonna
Oh,
test
you
mine.
like me when I'm angry.
I'm testing my audio for podcast episode number 83 of Kosher Talk Podcast. This is me when I'm talking pretty loudly, and then somehow during the later half of the show, I start talking like this, and I get a little quieter because I guess, I don't know, I just start doing it. I always notice it. It's like I'm really loud at the beginning like this, and then I get really quiet towards the end of the show like this. All right. That looks actually pretty good.
You know why, James? See how my mic moves? Look, when I move, my mic moves.
You see how my mic is just so much better quality than
You know
yours? You see that part? Like, oh. It's just I just need to stay. I can move.
Your mic's a cooler.
My mic is cooler.
No, it's a cooler. Like,
I'm testing
can you fit like cans of soda in there?
my mic is cooler than yours. And that's all that needs to be said.
I like my mic.
That may be the case, but mine's cooler. Let's have a little weekly poll here for right now. Whose mic is cooler?
Mine, obviously. It's not a Yeti.
It is not a Blue Yeti microphone. How much did that thing cost? Like, let's just give an estimate.
Mine?
Yeah,
Mine was over $100.
this is a $300 microphone.
I'm not the idiot that spent $300 on
I didn't spend $300 on an microphone either. My brother gave this to me, so.
I actually,
Mine
mine was used, so there's that too.
was used by my brothers for a
I think
he was using it, but
I think the retail of this is like 180. I don't know.
that's not actually terrible.
I know it's mine is a combo gamer / broadcast. It doesn't. It is actually not sold as only gamer.
Timmy. Wait, what did you say, Timmy? What was that?
That's so you know I'm still alive.
And guess who gets to edit that out like every show? I just see like when I'm talking, I just see big like blurbs of like, and I'm like, oh my god, people are gonna think I'm like having a stroke while I'm talking. Be like, and then I really like this roller coaster. All right, all right. So I just tested. We're good, and I'm going to get it set up so when we start, it starts recording. So I'm just gonna start recording.
Now you made me move my mic. I better test again.
You're killing me.
I'm killing James because it's a fun thing to do. I'm also testing my audio.
He likes torturing me.
Torturing James is all kinds of fun.
It's my sole purpose in life.
All right, and this is James. This is if James makes me angry. Actually, that works pretty good. All right, good. That's a successful
I
test.
feel like this might be the better part. I think once we start recording the podcast, people are going to leave because they're like, this is more fun than when they actually record the podcast.
Probably.
I should probably transition over to this thing since we are getting over to our actual recording.
Yeah, click those buttons. Make cool stuff happen.
Just like that, we're over to the podcast side of things now. We're not in the pre-show. We're getting ready to start. We're cool.
All
right.
because James pushed a button.
Because James is cool. And guess what? The Wi-Fi works, so I can just push the button and it happens. It's not like there's a server issue and the DNS might not be working. It's just like it works
Actually,
now.
it wasn't your Wi-Fi. Your Wi-Fi was fine.
Or my router.
Your router was the issue
Yeah.
because it couldn't handle the IPv6.
Nope. I'm gonna pretend
So
like
it makes me wonder if so ours was turned off. So I wonder if when FiOS came and installed ours, if they just knew it was a problem and just turned ours off by default, or maybe my roommate used it for an hour and was like, "That's enough of this crap," and he turned it off. I don't know because I never remember a time when our IPv6 was on.
That is cool.
I don't know, but I knew what it was, and I told you what it was too. So I was on the right track even from the beginning.
You
I'm
were.
kind of proud of myself because I'm not really a networking guy, and I actually figured that one out.
You should go work for Verizon.
No, God, no.
All right. Are you pretty much ready?
I am more than pretty much ready.
Okay,
I'm
gonna start recording,
ready.
and then I'm gonna start recording on our things, on the actual video part of it. So then I can just start recording the podcast side of things here. So, and then we'll just go right into Busch Gardens. I'll be like, normally this is where we'll have some small talk, but this week we're getting right into it because something big happened in one of our home parks. All right.
I
Or do you
want
wanna
to say
have small
something. I want to say something smart.
Okay.
Alecky.
What are you gonna say?
I don't know.
Just say
You ever
something.
want to spend $44 to visit half a park? Now's your chance.
Bob, no. Let's try to stay on the positive. Not be sarcastic.
Actually, it's not even half a park, is it?
It's about half. Yeah. I guess. But it's half of their crappy
Guess so.
coasters. But we'll get into that. Let's talk about that when we All right. We could have at least opened Apollo's. Or
Hi,
Alpengeist.
Pam.
Pamela, welcome to the chat room. All right, let's get ready to go. I'm going to start recording this. So. All right, everyone. Welcome to... You're killing me, Bob.
I always count down.
I just did
I thought
it.
you were telling me to start count. I didn't know that's what that was.
Why would I count down to your countdown? 3,
I didn't-
2, 1. Now you start counting.
Oh, is that what that was?
Yeah. All
I
right.
thought that was a butthole.
Yeah, 3,
I don't know.
2, 1. Now you start counting down. All right. All right, let's start, please. Let's try that again. You can start counting down now if it so pleases you.
It does please me. 3, 2.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Kosher Talk Podcast. Oh, my God. I can't even get the first word of the show out. Ah. I can't even get it. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. All right. All right, here we go.
No,
Oh, my God, you're killing me.
this isn't gonna be good.
You're in a good mood tonight, Bob. This is different than normal.
It's because I'm like half of the stress is gone.
I know it's nice to see. Normally you'd be like, all right, let's do the show, and I don't want to do anything. Like I hate the show.
I'd be like, I'm gonna go to bed. I hate everything. I hate everyone.
Now it's like I make now it's like.
All right.
All right,
Are you ready?
I'm ready. Are you ready?
I'm ready. 3, 2.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Coaster Talk Podcast. I am James Barber.
And I'm Bob Mertz.
This is episode number 83 of the show. It's August 2nd, 2020. And normally this is where we'd have some small talk, maybe introduce ourselves a little bit more, talk about what's been going on in our lives. But there's no need for that because we have some pretty breaking news, something that actually just happened today, the day of recording this podcast. We record our podcast Thursday night at 9 o'clock every night. And, well, we try to record at 9 o'clock every night. Normally
At
it doesn't.
9 something, maybe 10.
Maybe 10 if we're lucky. Maybe 11 sometimes. I mean, I think we actually have started 11 once, but 9 o'clock is what we shoot for. So always join us on Thursdays at 9. But as of Thursday, Busch Gardens Williamsburg just announced a special event called Coasters and Craft Brews, which is from August 6th to 16th. They're going to be opening up their Ireland, Scotland, France, and New France area of the parks. And they're going to have Loch Ness Monster, Griffin, Invader, La Catapult, and Finnegan's Flyer open. It's $44 to attend if you are not a pass holder or a season or a member. But if you are a season pass holder or a member, you actually get free admission, which was good news to hear. Good news to hear indeed. And also something that we brought up a couple times. I'm gonna let Bob talk a little bit more about this.
I'm
gonna let Bob talk a little bit more about this, but I'm just gonna kind of briefly give a little bit of an
what's
introduction.
going on.
A little bit of an introduction here. So our thing was our major place of concern with Busch Gardens Williamsburg and how they were going to do this is we thought they were going to reopen the park and then go, you know what? We said we were going to extend the passes through how many other months we were closed, but we kind of thought that they might count this as Busch Gardens Williamsburg being open, therefore they don't have to extend our passes further on into the 2021 season. But actually stated on the park's website, on their FAQs of this event, is that this will not count towards the extension. So we're still going to get the extension. This is not going to stop the extension. This is not going to bring it to a halt. They're not going to stop the extension until they said the full park reopens, which is great news to hear.
Yeah, this is I don't know what to say. I mean,
Bob
this was
actually is happy with SeaWorld.
SeaWorld did something.
You done good. You done good,
well,
kid.
they did good, and
Yeah.
I'm not used to this.
It's just like it's like almost like a predator, and it's prey, and Bob's like the prey, and he's like waiting for them to attack, but they're not attacking. They're just they're like letting him free, and he's like, wait a second.
Yeah, they're like,
should
saying,
I?
Hi.
Yeah, they're like, how are you today? And you're like, wait, where are they coming from? Where is gonna go on? He's a little worried that this isn't genuine. There might be something. There might be like a hidden motive. Maybe that's kind of a worry of concern. It's a point of concern.
Meanwhile, at the SeaWorld headquarters, they're going, "Whoa!"
And dolphin laughter.
We got them right where we
Dolphin
want them.
laughter, right?
Yeah. I mean, hey, I'm pleasantly surprised, and I everybody I told, I pretty much said like this is the one thing that I want to be proven wrong on because I like.
Yeah,
You know,
we are pass
and
holders.
this is the other thing.
Mhm.
They're actually telling, like, they put this right in the fact up front. Like, it wasn't like they didn't wait for like 2 weeks and like, we don't know. They were like right up front. No, this is not gonna.
It wasn't something this is not something that we pressured them into, or we're like, in the comment section, like, hey, you can't extend. It's something that we actually just got. And it's something that they were just like, yeah, we understand. This doesn't count.
Yeah,
it's not something that we had to
still
pressure
didn't
them
reply
into.
to me on Twitter, but that's common.
Yeah. Yeah, that
don't
is
reply to
common with
anybody on
SeaWorld
Twitter.
for sure. Yeah. Wait, I'm gonna stop.
This is as far as this event, it's kind of interesting. I'm kind of confused at like the one thing that's really interesting to me is that both Busch Gardens and King's Dominion were both like, hey, if Virginia's going to say we have 1,000 guest limit, we just can't open, we can't make it viable, and it's kind of an interesting thing that all of a sudden it's like this, like, oh, well, wait, maybe if we do this, we can make it viable.
Mm-hmm.
The thing that has me wondering is I wonder if there were like contracts in place with like breweries and stuff for this event that kind of causes them to like
Yeah. I
feel
thought about
pressured
that.
into doing something.
I thought about that, and we're going to talk about Knott's Berry Farm and later on in the show, talk about their event. But I figured if they were to do something, if that was a part of this, and it was just a contract they had to do with breweries or something like that, they would have just done what Knott's Berry Farm did, which is open the park but not open any rides, and just have the food venues throughout the park, or the beer venues throughout the park. But I really feel like this is a genuine reopening for them, because they are opening attractions. They are opening things like of that nature. Because I know Knott's is saying like we're not opening any attractions, which we'll again get to in a little bit. But something that is interesting is that BGW fans is actually
more breaking news. Busch Gardens did reply to me on Twitter.
Yeah, they did. I actually saw
don't know what's going on with the world. Up is down, left is right.
Breaking news.
Blue is green. I taste red.
Oh my god.
I hear black. I don't know. Everything's wrong.
SeaWorld did something very good these past day, and they opened up the park and they replied to Bob K. Mertz, Coaster Talk Podcast, whatever, Bob at Coaster Talk Podcast, whatever your Twitter handle is. I can't remember at the moment.
Coaster Talk Bob.
Coaster Talk Bob, yeah. I always get it at the end of the show, but up until then, I'll just forget. But Coaster Talk Bob, they replied to Coaster Talk Bob on Twitter. That's another great thing that they did.
Yeah. So yeah. I don't know. Go ahead and talk, James, because I'm beside myself. I don't know.
He's just gonna sit there in awe. He's just gonna sit there in awe.
I need to collect my thoughts.
Yeah, but Busch Gardens Williamsburg fans is actually saying that this actually might be kind of like a precautionary measure to kind of see if they open up the park for these 2 weekends, if they will make enough money, if they will be able to justify continue operation throughout the I know September and October months. So basically, this is almost like a test run. If we open up for 2 weeks here now and we make profit and we break even, we can continue to operate even with that 1,000 capacity limit. We can continue to operate and continue to make profit, because obviously they're definitely going to make, if they make a profit, that's much better than just sitting dormant as a park and not having anything going on. So that's what they're hoping, is that that's what BGW fans are saying. That their sources are saying that if they do break even and if they do make enough money, or if they make a substantial amount of money, then they're going to probably continually do this type of operation with like half of the park open.
Makes me wonder if Kane's Dominion will follow suit too.
Yes, that is something that I've been
Although at the same time, it might be. I don't know. It's like it's almost too late in the season, but then I mean, maybe we'll see Winterfest. You know what? We have to go off on a rabbit trail, or it's not Coaster Talk, right?
No, it's not.
I started. It's kind of been this ongoing tradition that since 2 years ago when Kane's Dominion started doing the New Year's Eve thing. Like I love doing that. And
yeah,
it's I'm a little bit worried. Me and Bob I want to continue that. I really want to do that again. And this, I would
say it's a Coaster Talk podcast tradition almost. We, me and you always meet up there on New Year's
Eve. Yeah.
So yeah, I mean that's something I would like to continue. I guess if worse comes to worse, we could just sit outside the gates. Happy New Year! The dark parking lot.
We'll rent a really powerful projector and aim it at the Eiffel Tower.
Bring some fireworks, shoot them off.
Light up some fireworks.
Yeah. Get arrested. Why are you shooting fireworks off in a theme park parking lot? Man, yeah.
Burn down Windseeker. Nobody will notice.
People, they might rejoice. They might rejoice, maybe. Oh man, yeah. We just gotta make sure not to get Grizzly, because Grizzly's right there next to it. Make sure that.
That's true. We do have to be careful.
With the controlled fire. Twisted Timbers. Yeah. Controlled fire. We'd have to. You have your firefighter skills. We'd have to get you out there and with the hose and making sure we're not. The whole spire will go up in flames. It'll be like Burning Man. It'll be great. Yeah. So that's what we know so far from Busch Gardens Williamsburg. Really excited. As of now, I have actually signed up for a Wednesday Passholder Preview Day event for this event. I'm not 100% sure if I'm going to be able to go. There's a lot of reasons to why, as that might not be happening. But as of now, I'm signed up. I reserved a spot. You can cancel that. So if there's a chance that I'm not able to go, I will cancel. I'm not going to be a jerk and be like, I'm just going to hold it until the last day and no one else will be able to go. No, I will cancel eventually if I get confirmed not able to go. But right now, I did reserve because I'm like, this is too good. I knew it was going to sell out, and within like what is it? It hasn't even been up for like almost 12 hours. It is completely booked, the Passholder Preview Day event. So I don't know about the other days. I haven't checked into that. I'm sure a couple of them might be booked up as well because 1,000 people is not too many. But I'm sure there's still later dates that are still available. I'm sure of it because I think they still have the reservation system up on their website, so they wouldn't have that up if it wasn't that way. So, yeah, this is some exciting news. We've been following this for about 2 or 3 weeks now, and it's nice to know that we weren't just being wishful thinkers and that this was actually, like, for a while I was like, maybe I'm just, like, hoping this is happening, and it's not actually, like, maybe them setting up the reservation system is just precautionary. Maybe they're setting up the tents and stuff. And then BGW fans started reporting on it and everything, and I'm like, man, I don't think they would be. I was like, I have to trust in these guys. They're always right. So,
yeah, BGW fans is they're one of the few that I can kind of almost blindly trust now. They've shown a really, really good track record.
Yeah, you can pretty much always rely on BGW fans for sure. Their information is always pretty much, if not 100% accurate, like 75, 80%. Like there's always like some truth to what they were saying, and if it isn't 100% true, then something happened down the line or something.
They're usually pretty clear about what they're not sure about.
Yes, that's the good thing about them.
Most important things.
Yes, they very like clear, like, hey, this is a rumor. This is what our sources are saying. We're not 100% sure. This isn't official released information. We're not 100. Yeah, it's always very they're always very open about.
It's just unfortunate they didn't catch the volcano thing, so we could like storm the gates before they even made that decision.
Yeah, BGW fans
just
like, wait
everybody,
a second.
the entire like half the state of Virginia, like just storms on King's Dominion.
Busch Gardens Williamsburg somehow
themselves to volcano. You will not tear down.
Busch Gardens Williamsburg.
You take our lives, but you can't take our volcano.
Busch Gardens Williamsburg as a park actually somehow knew about volcano before it happened, and then they leaked that information to BGW fans, and the BGW fans is like, wait a second, we need to turn our eyes to King's Dominion. Wait, it's like we're all like like an army almost.
I guess we should clarify for those that don't know. BGW fans is related to KD fans.
Yes.
It's the same network, so that's why I can include them. Even though to the people that don't know, it sounds weird. Like, why would Busch Gardens fans care about King's Dominion? It's part of the same network.
Yeah, but KD fans is not up to date normally. That's kind of unfortunate. Because I feel like if they had the same commitment to King's Dominion as they do with Busch Gardens, we'd probably get a lot of information leaked and stuff and know what's going on there all the time too.
I think they must keep things a lot tighter lipped, somehow. I don't know. It's kind of some of it may just have to do with. I mean, King's Dominion doesn't have the attention right now.
That is true.
I mean,
that is true.
They've just not. I mean, if you really want to hear about it, go back a few episodes.
Yeah, let's just.
I mean,
hold off on that.
There's all kinds of
let's
things.
Hold off on it. Yeah, they're just not. They definitely don't have the spotlight of the Cedar Fair chain right now. But that does it for Busch Gardens Williamsburg. They are going to be opening again August 6th through 16th. If you're not a pass holder and you want to get down there, I don't know why you would though, because pretty much every other park in the country is fully open. So if you want to get to a partially open park and you're from out of state, I mean, I don't know why you would want to do that. But if you're a non-pass holder or not a member, then you'll have to pay $44. If not, if you're a member or a pass holder, you're free to go. You just have to make a reservation. So that's exciting stuff.
Yep, indeed. And we should clarify, it's not every single day from 6th to 16th.
I was ending the video. That was the end of the video. They'll figure that out, Bob. They'll just go to the website and see.
Fine then.
I have show notes on there, so they'll go to the website and see that. Alrighty, so that does it for that video. So let's just record the podcast now. That'll be the last stop until we get to the break.
What's that? Wait, hold on.
That was me just going speaking gibberish.
Do you need me to delete? We're good. Just pick up where we are.
Who is in our chat?
I don't know what. Huh? What? Oh yeah. AutoMod took care of that first, and then I did some reporting.
Who the heck?
Did you not see that? It was consuming the chat. It was just like flying by like crazy.
What the heck was that? Look at the name of that person. That's kind of funny. Like it's kind of funny. That shows my age, I guess, my immaturity, because that would have made me laugh. The first I would have. What were they saying? What was their
You can click
messages?
and delete it. It's a bunch of emojis. I don't know. It's weird.
All right. Well, let's get back to the show then. Busch Gardens Williamsburg is not the only park to introduce a new
Wait,
event.
hold
I'm
up.
kidding. I'm kidding.
You didn't count, or are you just messing with me?
I'm always messing with you when I do that, Bob.
I hate you, James.
I love just randomly starting, like pretending to start. It's so funny. I think I've been doing that for like 2 months now, and you still haven't caught on to that.
Yeah, and because what's gonna happen is I'm finally gonna be like, yeah, whatever, he's not starting, and meanwhile you're gonna get all pissed, like, I was recording, man.
I'm just gonna go into like the next segment. I'm gonna be like, all right, now we're done with that. Bob didn't have anything to say, so I guess I'm just gonna get like too deep in the podcast.
Why is Audacity popping something up? What the?
Uh-oh.
I think it's good. I'm gonna save anyway. Because I feel safer when I save. I think. Hopefully it's saved.
Ooh.
Alright. You ready?
I'm ready, Freddy.
3, 2.
Busch Gardens Williamsburg is not the only park to announce an opening. I did not mean to say an opening. I meant to say a special event. I love you. I love you so much, Bob. I love you.
Hate you.
Love you.
Hate you.
Love you.
Alright. Ready? 3,
Yes.
2.
Busch Gardens Williamsburg is not the only park to announce a special event reopening. Knott's Berry Farm is also joining along in this, and it's not the same though. As I talked about earlier with Busch Gardens a little bit, Knott's Berry Farm is not having roller coasters open during this event. This is basically like a food festival. They're going to have 35 food and drink items all set up throughout the Ghost Town, Festa Village, and Boardwalk areas of the park. You're going to have to purchase a taste card, which is $30 for adults, and that gives you 5 tastes, which I guess is a meal and a drink, or I think it counts as either a meal or a drink, and then $15 for ages 3 to 11, and then they get 3 tastes, so they'll get drinks or they probably wouldn't get drinks, but some food options
Maybe
there.
some milk or apple juice.
Yeah, maybe some like exotic apple juice there, but yeah. So this is interesting. This is interesting stuff. They're not.
Knott's Berry Farm is opening a temporary food court. Cool.
Yeah, pretty much that sums it up. Yeah. So the park, you can go in the park. They said that they want people to have the park atmosphere there. It's going to be a fun, to be in the park again, but no rides will be operational. Nothing's going to be opening.
I mean, you could do the same thing with Six Flags New Orleans.
Yeah, you could. You get the park atmosphere, right?
I mean, it's just as functional, right?
True. That is definitely true. Yeah. Well, this is interesting. I don't know if other parks will follow that aren't able to reopen, if this is something that other parks are kind of looking to, because this is now 2 major parks that are kind of doing a similar thing. Yes, Busch Gardens has rides operational, but it's not many rides. It's, again, Loch Ness, Griffin, Finnegan's Flyer, and Invader are the 4 that are opening roller coasters. So it's not a lot of roller coasters. And so I don't know if other parks are going to follow suit and try to do something like these parks, and maybe like the parks that aren't open go, let's just do like a food festival and open a couple of attractions. I think Knott's, I don't know why they didn't decide to open anything up, because they're kind of doing the same kind of thing here with just opening a little bit of the park. I don't know if it is, I guess I don't know if what's going on in California. They might have other regulations that they're not allowed to operate rides or anything like that. I don't know, but I don't know if other parks might follow suit and
Maybe
attempt
they
to implement
just
this.
took really big tarps and threw them over the roller coasters and said, Governor, we don't have roller coasters. I don't know what you're talking about. We're not an amusement park. We're just a food court.
Where'd they go?
We can open.
They were stolen by in the night by Six
Meanwhile,
Flags
they're
Magic
sitting
Mountain.
on the Geauga Lake property.
Yeah, I was gonna say Six Flags
People
Magic
in
Mountain.
Ohio, Geauga Lake's opening again.
I was gonna say Six Flags Magic Mountain. They finally got their 20th coaster, right? After all this time, man. Yeah. So yeah,
In all
this is
honesty, though,
interesting.
like I'm glad to see parks getting creative with this. I think this is kind of odd for a bigger park to do something like this, but there have been a lot of independent parks that have done this. I know Del Grosso's in Pennsylvania has been doing a lot
Hmm.
of like food sales and stuff, and
Yeah.
it's like if I lived closer to Del Grosso's, I'd probably be eating their food all the time because like it's and from what I understand, it's a
Yeah.
cool set. I mean, not just because like it's park food and
Hmm.
it's good, but because you want to support those parks.
Yeah, exactly. It's a local business, especially
Um,
like Del Grosso's. Knott's
yeah.
Berry Farm, not so
So
much,
I
but
mean, it's just kind of yeah, it's kind of weird that like not. I mean, being part of Cedar Fair, like you would think they could like I don't know. I'm sure there's reasoning. Um, it's the same like the same kind of curiosity as why Michigan's Adventure is only opening the water park. I mean,
yeah,
there's some parts there that make sense, but you
yeah,
know,
yeah,
in the scheme of things, I don't know. I
yeah.
don't know why.
It's definitely like it's one of those situations where you wish you could be in the boardroom when they're making these decisions and hear what all is being planned out and why it's being planned out and just it's
Yeah,
just
certainly.
they're just strange decisions. Like I feel like if they can open the park and they can get everyone in there and having food and stuff, I don't know necessarily why attractions wouldn't be an option or why they couldn't open up one or two. I'm not saying open every roller coaster in the park or anything crazy. I'm just saying why like maybe not even roller coaster, but not like a family ride or anything like that. I don't know. It is definitely a weird decision, but again, that's one that you gotta have to be there to understand the reasoning behind.
Yeah. So hopefully it works out for them though, and they can sustain and accomplish whatever their goals are with this. But again, see, this is kind of one of those things too, where it makes me wonder if there were existing contracts that they were having issues with, and they felt kind of forced to do this.
Well, I do know they were having an
Um,
event there previous to this. I can't remember the name
well,
of it, but it was an event similar to this, and then they kind of like played this off of that event, and because that was like outside of the park, I believe, where they were doing this. I'm not 100% sure. I didn't follow this too well, but I believe what happened is they had another event previous to this, like a month ago, kind of similar to this event, but now they're actually putting it in the park and just calling it Taste of Knots. So I don't know if maybe it's because they were profitable with that event, or if maybe like you're saying, maybe they had planned this out, had signed up contracts with these people, and now
yeah.
they had to bring
I
them
mean,
into
I
the
don't
park. I
know.
don't
I
know.
don't want to pretend to know exactly how these events are put
Hmm.
together. I
Yeah,
mean, I know they're big deals.
yeah.
They mean a lot to people.
Hmm.
But it's just kind of interesting that these are two events that typically happen that like it just kind of seems like it could certainly be that that type of situation. And Busch Gardens can say like, look, we're kind of in this situation. We have to. It might be easier for us to just do this, and at the same time, maybe we can evaluate and see if we can be profitable and go forward with some more opening days or something like that. I mean, it's kind of interesting. I'm sure there's something there. There's got to be a reason why they decided this. And I mean, this is two different chains kind of making a very similar decision,
Yeah.
even though in um this kind of tastes weird coming out, but Busch Gardens seems to be doing it better.
Yeah.
SeaWorld's doing it better than Cedar Fair. But
What?
yeah, um I hope it works out for them, and maybe it might be one of those situations with the Knots too. They go, oh look, but I wonder if Knots are they going to be opening their stands, or is this literally just going to be these?
That is something.
Like, can you go into their souvenir shops? Can you
Oh,
do
yeah,
like?
they will have merchandise available. I did see that as well. So there'll be you can buy like gift shop. I believe they'll have the gift shops open. So yes, they will have their own gift shops and stuff of that nature open. So
So you can actually go and buy the shirt that says "I did not ride Montezuma's Revenge."
I did not ride Hang Time. I did not ride. Yeah, so, whatever. I can't even think of it.
Accelerator.
Accelerator, Silver Bullet, whatever. Yeah, you can't do that. And I know there's like FAQs. I think you get 10% discount if you're a season pass holder. So if you're wondering about that, but this doesn't count towards your reopening. I think as well, kind of similar to Busch Gardens. So they're not going to be able to give you a full. But that's again something they're doing better with SeaWorld. SeaWorld's saying you get a free admission as a pass holder. With this, you have to actually buy. $30 pass to get in and do some tasting.
Well, that's actually interesting because I mean I don't really get into these events that much, but isn't this event normally at Busch Gardens Williamsburg? Don't pass holders have to actually buy, like they have to buy their tickets um to have the tasting and all that stuff, don't they?
You have to purchase. You have to purchase for the Food and Wine Festival. I believe you have to purchase like. Yeah, you do, but I think you also get discounts. You have to purchase like a ticket or whatever, and you get like an availability for how many like you want to tour, or how many different ones you want to do.
So I wonder if this includes any of that. Like, okay, we get free admission as pass holders, but do we? I don't know.
I'm not sure. That's something that we'd have to look into on the FAQs. I'm not 100% sure if that was something they brought up on their website. So that's something that maybe, Bob, now that they're responding to you on Twitter, Bob, now they're responding to you on Twitter. Now that they're responding to you on Twitter, you can ask them that.
Yeah, I can ask them. That's such a cool feature. That, reply function. Maybe Busch Gardens is like turning a corner.
Maybe.
Maybe they're just saying like. Maybe they're just like, we don't care, Daddy. We're doing our own thing.
Let's think of a better way to phrase that next time.
Well, yeah, maybe. But...
No, Daddy, I'm doing it my own way.
I meant that as parent company, but yeah, okay.
Yeah, we meant that in the context of parents. Please don't. We're not. Not in the other way. But yes, that's the thing, and this is to get into Knott's. This isn't like a thing like if you want to go to Knott's Berry Farm and walk around the park, you can, and it's free for pass holders. You actually, just to get into the park, it is required that you buy the tasting card. So this isn't like Busch Gardens Williamsburg. If a pass holder wants to just walk around the park and doesn't have to get any crap brews or get any food, you can just go for free pretty much if you make a reservation. This is not. You actually have to purchase the $30 tasting card to get into the actual park and just walk around even if you want. So
in this case, basically, Knott's isn't actually charging admission at all. They're just making sure that if you're going, you're actually going to buy tickets.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's a different way of doing it. And Pam just said in the chat that at the Food and Wine Festival, you do have to purchase all the food.
Yeah, you do.
And you do get a discount. So I guess it's different ways of doing it. I guess Busch Gardens is operating rides, so that's why they're charging admission.
Well, I mean,
Knott's isn't, so they're not charging admission.
Technically, Knott's is charging admission.
You have to pay that, but that's what you would be paying to participate in that event anyway.
Yes,
on top of your admission.
But I think like if you wanted more or anything like that, you might have to buy another one. I'm not sure how that. That's what I was wondering because it's only 5 tastes. That was in my. I went to the FAQs to scroll through and see what they were doing for that, and there is no like hey, if you want. I'm not sure if it's like five tastes might be like 5 meals, so maybe that's way more than enough. But
I believe
it's like the Food and Wine Festival. The Food and Wine Festival is a really small portion, so. If it's anything like that, then you might want more than just 5 tastes. So I don't know how you would require or how you would acquire that if you wanted to.
I think it's similar to the event that Cedar Point does in Frontier Town. You get so many tickets, and you can use those to, get food or beer or different things, and then you can purchase more tickets if you want.
Yeah, I think they said you have to buy all the tickets online though, so that's where I was kind of like, do you? I guess maybe because I don't know if everyone can go online.
Well, maybe they'll sell additional tickets there.
Maybe I don't know. Maybe that's. But I feel like that's something they need to include on their FAQs.
They've got to be doing capacity control. So if you buy your first set online, that gives your capacity control.
True. I don't know. That was something that I wanted to find on their FAQs though, and I didn't find that. So it's gonna be. I'll be interested to see what they do because I'm sure we'll have people out there that we know going to that, so we'll check in with them and see what's going on.
Can I buy jam? That's another question.
I would assume you can buy jam. I would assume at Knott's Berry Farm you could buy some berry jam. I know they were selling that even during the pandemic at a store, I think they own a store like outside of the park.
Yeah.
And they were selling that. So I would assume inside the park you can buy it, most definitely. So yes, that's what's going on with Knott's Berry Farm. They're doing a similar special event to the likes of Busch Gardens Williamsburg, and yes, this is exciting stuff. Two parks that really weren't expect like 2 or 3 weeks ago. If you told me Busch and Knott's Berry Farm would be opening, I would have been like, oh, I don't know. And now they're in a sense both are reopening. So Six Flags, SeaWorld, and Universal both released Q2 results. And normally, or when we've talked about quarter results in the past, even end of the year results, we sometimes go into the numbers and talk about, oh, the attendance is in an increase, or the annual revenues at a decrease, whatever. We'll talk about everything that's going on with the Q2 results, or the Q3 results, or Q4, the end of year results, whatever. Then we're not doing that this time because they're all down.
No.
they're all
down. It's 2020. Everything sucks. It's a pandemic.
Yeah.
They didn't make money. Blah,
Exactly.
blah, blah. I mean,
And-
it's what you'd expect.
And when we're doing it in the past, we were trying to like see trends and see if maybe what financial shape parks we're going to be in the next couple of years. We don't know now because of the pandemic, obviously.
Right.
So this isn't really,
Because
even if we were
when
to
you're
go
in
through
an
all this.
unprecedented pandemic,
Yeah.
you can't really say, oh, well, this is normal for a pandemic.
Yeah, exactly.
That hasn't happened since like 1918. So
Exactly. We were in for a good one. It's been 100 years, right? We were.
yeah, exactly.
So all
About that
companies
time.
that had a quite significant financial losses, and that was again expected. SeaWorld, though, is going to postpone. This is from their Q2. This is why we're talking about this, because SeaWorld and Universal both made statements. SeaWorld said that they're going to postpone to 2021 the opening of any rides that were under construction and originally scheduled to open in 2020. So that
it
means,
took them a long time to make that decision because
yeah,
wasn't it their Q1 results? They were saying we're thinking about doing this.
Yeah.
And it took them a whole quarter to say, oh yeah, that thing, we're gonna do it.
those rides that we were supposed to open, we don't think those are going to open now. Yeah, so Iron Gwazi, Pantheon, Icebreaker, you can expect those all to not open in 2020. Look forward to opening in 2021. I mean, of course, there's always a chance. I know, like, some people are still going, well, maybe Iron Gwazi might be one of the exceptions. I wouldn't expect that. I mean, this is a pretty much an official statement from them saying they're not going to do it. But I know some people are still under the belief that Iron Gwazi might still open. But
It's too late in the year.
yeah, I would agree.
They're not going to get their investment the way they're planning. Even if they open it right now, it's too. We're in August basically.
And they're not going to get the revenue that
know?
they were expecting and hoping for with opening a brand new ride. Yeah, so that's
Exactly.
it is definitely.
You keep this to the next season. You get you can do your whole
Yep.
marketing campaign again and
Yep.
get that. It just makes more business. And believe me, you've listened to me talk. If I can, throw darts at SeaWorld, I'm going to. This you can't. I mean, this is exactly what they should be doing.
Yes, it makes.
No, I would love to see Pantheon open. I would love to ride Pantheon.
I would
but-
love to get on Iron Gwazi and Pantheon and everything under the sun, right? But when you're in a worldwide pandemic, that's sometimes not the most important issue, really, is us getting on roller coasters. So it makes sense. Also stated, and this is nothing new, but Universal had a statement as well, and they said that due to COVID-19, the development of our Epic Universe is paused until it becomes more certain what's going to happen and how they're going to be able to financially respond to this. So as of now, construction's been halted. I know people were like, that's not big news. We already saw that construction was going to be stopped in August. But this is an official statement now from the park. So that's all,
Yeah. I'll tell you, the thing that's a little more disappointing to me is in the show notes here, James specifically wrote that Comcast released the plans for Universe.
Yes.
And I try very, very hard not to remember that Comcast is in charge. And I now am reminded, and I feel terrible. That's almost more disappointing to me than Epic Universe being delayed because, like you said, we were kind of expecting that anyway. But,
yeah.
they can't get internet to most houses, but they run amusement parks.
Something I also actually just now remembered off the spot, I'm actually kind of glad I did that. Universal's actually delaying till 2021 as well. Hollywood Horror Nights, something that was a major thing for Universal, is being postponed to 2021. Halloween Horror Nights is one of the biggest Halloween events on the planet. People from all over the world come to Hollywood Horror Nights, and that is not going to be occurring, which is sad because I'm a huge Halloween fan, and I was actually considering, hey, if my school is gonna do virtual learning, Bob, and virtual learning is gonna be like 2 hours or 3 hours long during the day. So I'm like, man, I can knock that out in the early morning, and then in the later afternoon, I could have gone down to Florida and I could have done parks during school. Because hey, if I'm only doing 2-3 hours of school, there's no reason for me to be sitting in my room doing nothing.
Yeah.
So I'm like, hey, I go down to Halloween Horror Nights and finally check that out. And then they're like, slap. Nope.
Yeah.
What were you thinking? It makes sense.
Surprised.
I'm not surprised either.
I what will surprise me is if any park actually goes ahead with their Halloween events in the way. Well, let me take that back. Like Halloween events like Knoebels there's nothing wrong with that because that Halloween event doesn't involve the scaring and the houses and stuff like that.
Except the the haunted cars, the haunted trolley cars, or the haunted old timey cars.
Well, they don't. There's not really contact with that though.
No, I agree. Yeah. There's no close
they
contact.
do
they do jump out.
just standing. I still say just standing next to their flyers is enough to scare the crap out of you, especially when there's a bunch of coaster enthusiasts on it.
Mm-hmm.
You find yourself like praying to God those cables don't break.
When you're on it, man. When you're on it, that's enough to scare you.
Well,
man.
There's that. But you at least say like I'm the one that's gonna land on top,
and I'm gonna die. And if I don't, I'm gonna die happy.
That's true too. But any of the events where you have people jumping out at you, and that's the thing. You could have the Halloween events without that, but people that are going to it expect that. Like you don't go to King's Dominion for a Halloween event. Yeah, like you expect to be scared. You expect people to be jumping out at you and there being contact and stuff. And if they take that away, it's just not the same. And you're going to end up disappointing people more than you be, I just think
people would be under the impression that Halloween haunt means getting scared. And then if they didn't read into it and go, if King's Dominion, maybe put a disclaimer on the website, we're not doing Halloween, haunted houses or scare zones.
Maybe change the name for a year.
Yeah. Just Halloween fun, Halloween fun times, right now.
Or just call it the fall festival or something like that. That like says we're gonna do something, but it's not the same, and expect it not to be the same because it can't be. We're
call it Phoenix Fall Fun Fest or something like that, right? That'll definitely. That'll change the name enough.
Call it Grizzly Fall Fun Fest.
Grizzly Fall Fun Fest. That would be maybe it's something they need to consider there.
Except nobody knows how to get to Grizzly.
Yeah, exactly. It wouldn't be a fun fest on Grizzly. Yeah.
I can barely find Grizzly, and it's like one of my home parks.
It's one of our favorite roller coasters there too.
Yes.
Well, you're meaning to tell me that I have to go through a gift shop to get to the roller coaster? Wait, what?
To get in? No, you mean exit. No. I mean to get to it. You have to go through the gift shop to get
It's just a marketing ploy. They wanted us to go through the gift shop so that we'd buy merchandise, right? The terrible, awful Grizzly merch that they have in there.
Grizzly doesn't have on-ride photos, does it?
No, it doesn't. It does not.
So you go through a gift shop, there's not even on-ride photos.
There's those really awful tie-dye Grizzly sweatshirts that are awful, and that's like the only piece of merchandise that you get from Grizzly.
Actually, that shop does have the Virginias for coaster lovers.
Yeah, but they don't have any actual ride merchandise for the ride that you have to go through to get into the ride. There's no ride merchandise for it, except a terrible, awful sweatshirt I don't think anyone's ever bought. I don't think I've ever seen anybody in the park wear one. I don't think I've ever seen anybody in the park buying one. I don't know who would buy it. It's pretty bad. It looks like poop brown and then mixed with like a lighter brown, and then it has Grizzly's logo on it. It's pretty bad. It's pretty awful merchandise, man. People were complaining about Candemonium getting that color. Oh, just imagine wearing a shirt like that. It's not appealing at all. But yeah, Grizzly Fall Fun Fest. But getting back to it, whoa. We just went on a huge rabbit trail there. Universal, not opening their Epic Universe. They're not opening Halloween Horror Nights. And that is all for that little news clip, that little news segment there. Something that is probably even more shocking and even more probably not saddening to Bob, but a little bit like, wow, wait, what? Shocking. That'd probably be a better word. Shocking.
What's going on? What's up?
Holiday World is now requiring all guests to wear face masks. It is a requirement, and because we literally had a segment on the show, we had a whole debate with people in the audience and with each other even about if face masks are loose articles, and that all sprung from Holiday World saying that you can't wear you couldn't wear face masks on rides at their park, and now they're saying you have to wear face masks on rides and the midways. They've done like a 360 or 180 here, not a 360. 360 would be right back where they were. But a 180, they did a 180, and they are completely on like the opposite side of the aisle now, saying that you have to wear a face mask. This is coming from Indiana regulation saying that everyone in Indiana has to wear it when you're out in public, but it is nice to see that they are following through with that and requiring masks.
Yeah, it'll be. I mean, we of course want to see how the enforcement is, because some parks are really nailing it, some aren't. I am curious to hear reports from Busch Gardens Williamsburg.
I am too,
because that is one thing. That is one thing that I'm very upset about SeaWorld parks, is they just don't seem to care at all.
I honestly think that might spring from the fact that we're hearing a lot from Florida. And Florida's kind of...
No, I actually saw some reports from
Texas as well. Texas as well. I would kind of feel almost in the same boat.
Yeah.
Florida and Texas, like, I just... Not to get political or anything, but I just feel like that they might be a little bit less on the side of, like, pro-masks. So it might just be the people down there.
Well...
It might just be the people.
The weird thing about it, though, is before the park shut down, SeaWorld Orlando, people were saying about how great they were about sanitizing stuff, before they even shut stuff. So it's just like, what, you could do it then, but when we know it's bad, we don't care. I mean, but let's also face it. This is the same company that printed shirts that said thrill rides, or what was it? Thrill rides
seeking is essential.
Yeah, like, I mean, that's just poor taste. Come on now. I mean, like, food is essential, medicine is essential. I mean, I really like my thrill rides, but no, it's not essential.
I think it was poorly worded. If this had been like next year, that would have been funny. I mean, like, after this had been resolved and stuff.
Provided we're like over the pandemic.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Provided that we're back in good standings.
When we get to a point where we can joke about what happened, but you don't. When we're in the middle of, like, not only the pandemic, but in amongst all the stupid fighting that's going on about it, that's just poor taste to throw that fuel on the fire. I mean, it's just. Yeah, to me, it was almost like a shot to the, like.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Getting back to Holiday World, though, yet again.
Oh yeah, we were talking about Holiday World.
I don't know how we got.
How did we start talking about Busch Gardens? I'm sure it was my fault.
Yeah, I'm sure. I'm confident. Yes, but Holiday World also, something that might surprise you, because you're saying, how are they going to enforce this? They're actually, if you don't have a mask with you when you get to the park, you actually have to buy one for $1, but you still have to buy one. So they're going to force you to buy one and that's how you're going to be able to enter the park. So it isn't going to be like, oh, it's okay, not wearing a mask, just whatever.
That's 50% cheaper than Hershey.
Is it?
Yeah, that's actually during opening day, Skyrush, they were making announcements in the station saying you are not allowed on this ride if you're not wearing a mask, and if you don't have a mask, you can see security and buy one for $2.
Yeah, well.
But I have some things to say about Hershey, but maybe I'll wait till after the break.
Yeah, so that's what's coming up next on the next half of the show. Bob's going to be talking about how some opinions have actually changed quite a bit for him. All right, just you can stop your audio, and I'll just, because you're not going to talk again.
Hakuna Matata.
Yeah, so that's what's coming up.
Sorry, that's what it sounded like to me.
Hakuna Matata.
It means no worries.
All right, I'm going to do it. Yes, that's what's coming up in the next half of the show. Bob has changed quite a few opinions on Hershey Park. Some ones that he shared with us on a
James can't talk tonight.
It's always at like the endings of segments that I can't talk. It's crazy. I'll be fine during the show. Like, you think this much I mess up, I'd mess up all the time. But it's just like at the ending. Like, you think you just hand it over to me and I'd be like, I'm Bahau. All right. Yes, in the next half of the show, Bob's going to revisit some old opinions he has with Hershey Park and actually clarify, because he just revisited and he's going to give us some updates. What am I talking about? Clarify. Not clarifying anything, you're changing them.
Ding, fries are done. Ding, fries are done.
Here we go.
Hey, James. James, would you like an apple pie with that?
Oh my gosh. What are you on tonight, man? Can I get some of it?
You do know what I'm referencing, right?
Yeah, I think.
Okay. Oh. No, there's no thinking. You'd know.
Would I know? Oh, I just messed up Audacity.
No!
Yeah.
Don't do that.
All right, I'm recording this, all right. And that's the end of the show. Yes, when we return from the...
Holy crap, man.
Yes, when we return from this break, Bob is going to revisit some old opinions he has with Hershey Park, and he's actually going to... I don't know what I'm talking about. What are you going to do? You're going to change your opinions. You already changed them, though. You're not going to change them live on the show.
You just say I have different viewpoints.
But I'm just going to say...
I've seen things from a different angle.
Yes, Bob...
That's really what it is, because...
You're killing me.
I didn't know...
I'm just doing it. I'm doing it live. All right. Yes, Bob recently revisited Hershey Park, and he's actually changed a couple of opinions that he has on their newest coaster, Canimonium. So we're going to talk about all of that on the next half of the show. Why was that so hard to do?
I don't know, James. Why was it so hard to do?
I don't know, Bob. Why was it so hard to do?
I don't know. I just don't know.
I asked you first.
I don't. I just don't get it at all.
All right, let's...
So in this next segment, I'm going to throw Pam under the bus, saying that she wanted to go to Dutch Wonderland and thought it would be exciting for a day. And I said no.
I don't think everyone knows who Pam is, though. Like, not to be mean, but like...
No, I'm not gonna. Well, I don't. Yeah, no, I'm just saying it right now to get her going in the chat. She hasn't said anything for a while.
You're just gonna say... You mean you
She
can
may
say
have
Pam.
fallen
You can just say
asleep.
my coaster friend Pam or whatever, but I don't know.
Either that or she's arguing with Hannah. No, Timmy.
Timmy. No, we don't do that here.
Actually, don't take offense. I'm going to remove that. I'll explain why later, Timmy.
I just want to let you know it's in my authority to revoke that decision that you just
It
made.
is. Please don't.
I'm just kidding. I'm not going to. I just want to know. I just want to let you know I have the power.
I know.
I have the power.
I got the power. Oh, actually, I don't have the power. Do I not? I don't know. Maybe I think Pam did fall asleep. So here's a temporary poll. Did Pam fall asleep, or is she talking to Hannah on the phone?
Is that a rhetorical question?
There she is. Oh, she's lagged. That's what's going on. She's lagged.
She's really lagged. She's like 2 or 3 minutes behind now.
Yeah.
Timmy, if you can hear us now, say it right now. Say like hi, like in the next couple seconds. I want to see if that's my end or if that's just the live stream in general being lagged or if that's just her.
Could
Okay,
be
we're good.
just her internet connection too.
Yeah, there's Timmy. All right, so yeah, I thought maybe OBS was acting up or something. I was like,
Nope. It's
Hi,
probably
Timmy.
just Pam's internet. What's up, Timmy? That was a little bit quicker.
Pam. Pam, say the word blue. Just say blue in the chat, and we'll see how far behind you are. Because I can't tell if she's saying hi to earlier or she's saying hi like when we said hi like a minute ago.
I don't know.
She's really behind.
He is lagged.
Don't hate on my internet. Well, it's pretty bad. It's pretty bad.
I mean, yeah.
She's gonna say blue all of a sudden now.
There it is. She just said it.
Yep, there it is.
All right.
All right. On this night.
I could actually say Hershey will be my home park.
Wow, that's kind of sad. Oh,
That's not sad.
Six Flags America, still closer, right?
I'm gonna have to figure this out because I might actually say. Hold on. Let me see.
King's Dominion is definitely not closer, but I don't know what chat rate means, but we have a high chat rate right now. It says
Oh, that's cool. I think. I don't know.
the chat rate is this of the stream. What? What is the chat rate? I thought clicking on what is chat rate. It says there's like a little eye for information, and it just says this is the chat rate of the stream. What the hell is that? You'd think it'd say like what the chat rate is, what that means, and it just says this is the chat rate of the stream. Tell me what chat rate is. No. No. Bob.
What?
No.
What?
Google's not working again.
What?
I'm not kidding. I just tried to get on and it said no internet.
Well, OBS is still working, right?
Yeah, everything's working, but Google's not working.
Oh, stop messing with stuff. Maybe Google's just down.
I'm on
so
YouTube, though.
Hershey and Six Flags are actually the same distance.
I'm on YouTube though.
Yeah, okay. Stop playing. Let's hurry up and finish this before the world goes down in flames.
Oh boy. I'm gonna see if other websites are working. Wait, real quick.
No, don't do it.
Me looking up a website is not gonna affect the rate of this podcast.
You don't know that.
If me going to another website, I'm gonna go to another websites because I have to look at stuff that we're doing earlier. So
Oh,
either way, it's gonna happen then.
you say so. So I now consider Hershey will be my home park. I'm happy about that, actually.
I don't understand why it would only work for a little tiny bit.
It may be an unrelated issue. The other
Wha-
stuff's working, you said.
YouTube's working. YouTube's Google. So if Google
Yeah,
was down,
we'll deal with that later.
oh boy. I'm still on the Google Drive. I can get on every other search engine. Yahoo, Bing. I can't get on Gmail again. It was nice while it lasted.
All right. Well, let's go. Let's get this done.
All right. Man. What if I stop the stream and restart? I'm just kidding.
No, no, don't do it. Okay. Are you ready?
I'm ready to rumble.
Are you talking when we get back, or am I?
I guess I can't because you're going to probably go off on a thing here.
Probably.
All
All right. Are you ready then?
I'm going to say it's your new home park then. Is that okay?
I was gonna say that,
I'm going to
but
say
okay.
it. But I can say it and then you can agree with me.
Okay, fine. Well, it's not yet. It will be.
It is Bob's new home park, Hershey Park. All right, guys, Lincoln back come to the show. I'm just kidding.
Are you ready? Are you ready? Stop that. Three, two.
So, Bob recently visited Hershey Park in Hershey Park, Pennsylvania, and it's not Hershey Park, Pennsylvania. It's Hershey, Pennsylvania. That'd be kind of cool if it was just Hershey Park, Pennsylvania.
Hershey is
Like
in
a whole
Hershey
city
Park,
of just
Pennsylvania.
roller coasters and rides and stuff.
Indeed.
All right, you ready? Again, 3, 2, 1. Hershey Park, Pennsylvania is Bob K. Mertz's new home park.
Ready?
Yeah.
3, 2.
Bob recently visited Hershey Park in Hershey, Pennsylvania. And all right.
You don't say.
God. What is wrong with me? All right, this is it. I know I'm going to do good here. I need to say revisited. All right, you ready?
Yep. 3, 2.
So if you remember a few weeks back, Bob gave us a trip report about Hershey Park in Hershey, Pennsylvania. He went up there, rode the new B&M Hypercoaster Canamonium, did a couple other attractions up there, had a great time. But he didn't really like Canamonium much. He said it was a typical B&M Hyper. He didn't have a great ride experience on it that much. He didn't think it was, it was an average Hyper for him. And he recently went back to the park and has some new found opinions on this ride.
Yeah, I like Hershey so much that I think I'm going to make it my new home park.
Yeah.
And actually, I'm not joking about that. I will be moving within the next month to Martinsburg, West Virginia. So I get to live in another state. This will be the 4th state that I've lived in.
That's pretty cool.
But yeah, so I didn't know this at the time that I visited Hershey, but our friend Pam actually said, "Hey, we're going camping in Pennsylvania, and we're going to visit Dutch Wonderland. Do you want to come up and join us, Bob?" And I said, "Sure, why not?" Because Merlin's Mayhem. I mean, I love Merlin's Mayhem.
I don't know if we can get through one show without talking about that thing.
I'm sure there's been some.
I think the vast majority have not been, though.
Yeah. So anyway, I don't think she fully grasped the concept that Dutch Wonderland isn't an all-day park for adults. So we went and rode we rode Merlin's Mayhem a couple times. We rode Kingdom Coaster, and she got her credit on Joust, which is I think it's a Zamperla. We visited the Dutch Wonder House, which is a very, very, very small version of a haunted swing, which is pretty cool. Though. And then we said, we need something more. And we just drove up the road to Hershey again. And again, Hershey is doing, I really think Hershey's doing a great job with the COVID response. And it really looks like they're doing well. I know there's a lot of parks that are struggling. Hershey seems to be doing well. It certainly wasn't a packed day, but there were definitely a good number of people in the park. We had a lot of walk-ons. There weren't long lines. Laugh Track was only probably a 15-20 minute wait, which that may sound long, but for Laugh Track, that's insane.
Yeah, I remember waiting in like an hour-long wait for that thing.
Yeah, Laugh Track, because it's such a low capacity ride.
Yeah, it is.
But Pam likes to ride front seats, and B&M Hypers, like, who rides the front seat of a B&M Hyper?
Yeah, that's unheard of almost.
Let me tell you, I might be changing my stance, because we rode in the front seat of Candemonium, and wow, it was so much different than it was on opening day. I mean, just almost to ejector level air. I was blown away. Really, I was seriously blown away. That was probably that may be that ride right there may have taken Candemonium above Diamondback for me, and that's saying a lot. So now the thing I don't know, we only got one ride on it, so I don't know if it was just running better or if the front seat had something to do with it.
Hmm.
Um, but it did get me thinking about something. If there's amongst the coaster enthusiasts, there's a lot of people that understand the value of the back seat. Being pulled over the drops, giving you more airtime. But if you go to get in line for seats, it seems like the majority of people always go for the front seat. They don't go for the back.
Yes.
And it kind of makes me wonder if engineers are actually starting to design with that in mind. Because I personally, I've been shocked on some GCIs where I think the front seat's better. And this Candemonium experience, I think, is certainly something that has opened my eyes to, a possibility of something as well. I don't know. It's just a thought that popped into my head.
Yeah, it's
But
an interesting take. I don't know if I'm on board with that 100%, but it is definitely
I
something
don't
that.
know.
Yeah, I know.
I don't know. It's
Yeah, I
just
get
a
it.
thought.
It's definitely an interesting theory for sure, and I think it's something that could very well be maybe not like designing that. It's not like, oh, let's make the front seat amazing, but it's almost like, hey, let's do this element that'll maybe make the front row experience a little bit better or something like that. That's definitely plausible. I could understand, like, oh, this airtime hill, if we take it at this degree, the front seat will get just as much airtime as the back, or whatever. Instead of
Yeah.
taking it where, like, sometimes in the front seat you get less airtime, or substantially amount of less airtime. So maybe that's the case. Maybe they're doing something like that aspect.
Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of I mean, it's just an interesting thing to think about. Because I mean, it just seems so out of character for me to be on a B&M Hyper and having like almost ejector level air in a front seat. I mean, because you would never think of riding Apollo's Chariot or Diamondback in the front seat. Like, you just don't do that. That's not. I mean,
It's ludicrous.
maybe you try it, but yeah, like it's that's the kind of stuff that makes Spaceball One go to Plaid. um, but yeah, I really was pleasantly surprised on that ride. It was really, really good. I got my ride on Wildcat. I still love Wildcat. I don't care what the haters say. I love Wildcat.
RMC, right? That's what I'll say.
Shall not touch Wildcat.
Bob will
Shall
be
not.
there he'll tie himself to the coaster.
I will.
Bob
will
will be that
chain
lunatic on the top of the lift hill, just sitting there like chain, like almost like I want to crucified like Jesus. Like, no, you shall not touch this, Father. Why have thou forsaken me? I could just see
love
it.
Wildcat so much. And I got my back ride, left wing on Sky Rush.
Oh man,
Such a glorious coaster. Such a glorious coaster. It's so, 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 so amazing. I Hershey, Hershey, like, people do appreciate Hershey, but I don't think Hershey gets the recognition that it should because of, I mean, the number of coasters they have is just spectacular.
it is. It truly is. It's packed with good coasters, your quality coasters.
And this is even with Super Duper Looper and Stormrunner being down.
Yeah, I mean,
I mean,
you can still easily go there and have a great time. There's nothing to do.
absolutely.
Yeah, it's
Absolutely.
great. Stormrunner, I didn't really like Stormrunner that much. I liked it, but I didn't love it that much. I think it made it in my
I like
top
it a lot.
30 or top 40, but it didn't impress me to the level a lot of people say it did. But it's still a great ride, and the Super Duper Looper was great. But even then, I mean, I was still planning on going to Hershey for a while, and plans got delayed. But I was planning on going because, I mean, look at their coaster. You got Skyrush still. You got Candemonium. I mean, Great Bear. I mean, just right there, those three are well worth the trip right there. You have some other great attractions as well at the park. So many great. I mean, I like the Triple Tower, Drop Tower a lot. That's one of my favorite drop towers.
Believe it or
I like
not,
Laugh Track, like Wildcat.
I
like
had
Lightning
not
Race.
rode. I had not been on the Hershey's Tower
Really?
this weekend,
That was a
and
good
it was
one. I
actually
loved
funny
it.
because I was actually nervous, and the thing I was nervous about was the drop, and I forgot SNS doesn't make good drop towers. I don't know why.
Yeah,
They
I
make
liked,
amazing launch towers, but their drops just aren't. I don't.
but you
get
gotta
it.
admit, getting launched on those things is great though. The launching
Oh
aspects
yes.
on
Oh
those
my
are
god.
great.
It was amazing. I love their launch towers.
You get airtime
Love
galore on those.
Yes, they're absolutely spectacular. But it's just kind of funny because, like, it's drop towers that get me, and it was like, I was getting all nervous like I usually do, and I'm like, it dropped, and I'm like, what was that? What happened? I don't
Are
know.
we done yet? Is the ride over?
Yeah, that's weird. I'm on the ground. How'd that happen? I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, I mean the triple tower installation is really good. It's kind of weird that they seem to only ever run in two at a time. I don't know that I've ever been there and have seen them running all three. But it seems like they change throughout the day, and I don't know the reasoning for that. I'm just not sure. But I will say that in some ways, I think the Kisses Tower actually has more airtime than the Hershey's Tower. Granted,
I
you're
think
a
the
lot
Reese.
further
I
off the
thought the
ground,
Reese's
but
Tower was my favorite actually. The one in the middle. That was the one that produced the most airtime when I rode back in 2017. I remember I did all three of them, and I'm like, man, the Reese. I did the Reese's Tower. It was the only one I did twice because I liked it so much.
see, I can't even remember riding the Reese's. I may not have. The problem is every time I've been to Hershey, I've been with my niece and nephew, and my niece loved the Kisses Tower, but would not ride the taller towers. She's just been petrified of them. So we've just been, riding the Kisses Tower. So it
Yeah.
was nice to actually get that opportunity. And actually, believe it or not, the first time ever, I actually watched a show at Hershey Park. We stopped and
Wow.
watched the Sea Lion show,
Oh
and
yeah, I
it was
saw that.
actually pretty good. I actually really enjoyed it.
I saw that when I was there in 2017. I liked it a lot too. It's really cool.
Yeah, it's a great show.
They do some
And
great
we
tricks.
did our visit to Reese's Cup Fusion, which I still think is one of the uh, best shooting rides. It's a phenomenal ride.
What about
Um,
Gobbler's Getaway? Come on, Bob.
that's good too. That's up there too.
That is a good one.
Uh,
That's a fun one.
I think the thing with Reese's Cup Fusion is it has more actual video screens that you interact with.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. I was.
Where like Gobbler's Getaway is more like stationary target based.
Mhm.
But like the Cup Fusion ride is actually more dynamic because
That
you're
was
actually interacting
that was a little
with.
bit of just being facetious there. I wasn't actually.
I know, I know. I do love like the theming of Gobbler's Getaway is just phenomenal though.
Yeah,
The
it
Holiday
is.
World did a great job of that.
It is.
It absolutely
And it's
it's a
really
great ride.
really
They're both,
cool as
both
someone as some people as people that do the Boo Blasters at King's Dominion quite a bit to go to Gobbler's Getaway and see that ride with a completely different overlay is kind of cool.
yeah, yeah. Especially one so well themed with I mean Boo Blasters is pretty well themed, but Gobbler's Getaway is just so much more.
And I'm now just realizing yet again we're off on a rabbit trail talking about Holiday World and Gobbler's Getaway and Boo Blasters to originally talking about Bob's experience on Candemonium. I love it.
That's
I love it
because
so much.
it's coaster talk, and that's what we do.
We are your source for everything roller coasters. We talk about everything. We talk about
every rabbit
everything.
trail. We explore every rabbit trail you could think of.
Yeah, we exploit
Um,
every single topic of discussion that you can think imaginable. We end up talking about it on this show. Every episode, pretty
Yeah.
much.
Yeah, we do. But yeah, to sum that up again, Hershey Park just it really like if you really want to visit a park that seems to be doing well with the COVID response, Hershey's there. I will say there are still guests that aren't complying, but Hershey's pretty good. Hershey's pretty good about it. They're sometimes in the pathways there's not a lot of people, but this is something I noticed new too. As you walked around, there were these random, like, I don't even know what you'd call it. They almost looked like those little tiny carts that somebody would push around and sell drinks out of. I mean, like the really small ones.
Mm-hmm.
They had those set up, and there were security guards at them, and they were stationed throughout the park. And I don't know specifically this, but I am pretty sure the whole purpose of that was those security guards were there actually watching for mask compliance. Like I said, I didn't witness it firsthand because especially in those areas, mask compliance was really good.
Just like when
So
you're
that
speeding
also
past a
kinda
cop,
leads
you're gonna start slowing down, go to the
Right.
speed limit. So
Exactly.
see that security guard, the
Exactly.
mask
But they
goes
were
up.
yeah, but there were actually a lot of people, and there were a lot of those set up around, a lot of different areas. The only place that I really noticed, well, we cut through the boardwalk area, the water park area, and nobody was wearing a mask there. But that's kind of an understandable thing because that's difficult in a water park. But the part of the dry park that I noticed is more like right in front of Fahrenheit. I noticed quite a few people there were not wearing their masks or not wearing their masks properly. But that was really the only area that jumped out at me as being a problem. And I did see multiple people get told in various areas, like pull your mask up.
Mm-hmm.
Social distancing in the lines it doesn't happen. It's unfortunately it's a mentality thing, and people can't wrap their heads around standing on the dot.
And I think
I don't know
mean,
why so hard.
if everyone's wearing masks, that isn't as big an issue, definitely. But,
Right? Yeah,
so,
I agree.
So
I mean, you should do both, but I mean the mask is the more important thing, I think.
yeah, for sure. So talking about something else that's relatively new, you just talked about how the security guards are stationed around the park. Something else that is new is that Intamin has released 4 new concept arts, and we talked about this all on last week's show. If you want to hear our full in-depth thoughts on those, you can listen to last week's show. But the weekly poll for last week's show was actually that if the audience thought that Intamin copied their new concepts too heavily from other manufacturers, because they did introduce a Raptor coaster, a Power Splash type ride, an Ultra Splash is what they're calling it. They did introduce a compact launch coaster that some people are claiming is very, very similar to the Premier Skyrocket 2s. We talked about that on last week's show, that we kind of thought that, I mean, everyone's going to have a compact launch coaster, and it's not really that similar too much, really. And then they introduced a Giga Splash as well. So we asked the audience that, and we got 19 votes for yes and 8 votes for no. So 19 people voted yes, that they are copying their designs too heavily from other manufacturers. We got 70% saying yes, 30% saying no. And we got a couple of write-in responses, not too many. I'm going to point out, kind of post this kind of last minute this morning, so a lot of people might not have had time to respond. So we got 4 responses out, and they're all pretty well thought out, I think. So we got a kind of a funny one here. And he said, I can't tell if they're trying to be Mac or if they're trying to be RMC. So I guess that is his way of saying, he said that basically the Power Splash is being too close to the Mac rides, and then the Raptor being close to RMC. We got another response that said the Giga is the only unique idea they have, really. Which, I mean, we kind of talked about that last week. The Giga is definitely a unique idea. And again, I kind of feel like, and me and Bob both kind of agree with this, the Premier isn't really a basis of inspiration for their compact launch coaster, I don't think. So,
yeah,
I mean, yes, it kind of looks like it, but I mean, every manufacturer has that kind of there's Skywarps, there's Gale Force.
Well, if you want to look at it that way, you could say that B&M's track looks kind of like Arrow's.
Yeah.
I mean, it's different, but it does have the resemblance. So did they copy it and make it better? Like, in today, people wouldn't say that because everybody feels that B&M is superior. I have differing views on that, but that's another time. But I mean, that's the thing. Like, there's a copy there.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's one of the responses we got as well. The final response was, especially not for the Premier or for the compact launch coaster, they took inspiration from it, maybe, but it would be suicide to not make compact custom models.
Right.
So, yes.
I mean, that right there. They're offering something. To my knowledge, Premier doesn't do a custom Skyrocket 2.
Mm-hmm.
So, they're doing something. That right there is something that Premier is not doing. Now, will Intamin take that ride and do a custom version? I'm sure they would. They seem to be the one that, like, if a park wants something, they'll find a way to make it happen.
They accommodate for whatever the park wants.
They're very accommodating.
Yeah.
For
sure.
I think that's kind of the thing. You look at RMCs now and like the Raptors now, and there's a lot of clones now. Yes, there's the Jersey Devil, But at this point in time, we don't know if Jersey Devil is actually a custom or if that's just a different model of a clone.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, we don't know that for sure. So they're going to do different things with it. I can definitely see the people that think they're copying heavily. I understand where they're coming from. I don't. I certainly agree with the Ultra Splash. I think the Ultra Splash is just they should. that's way too similar.
It's pretty much
The
same
other
ride,
ones
yeah.
though, I think are the other concepts though I think are varied enough, and I think they're gonna do more with that. That's gonna make it seem different. Right now we're looking at videos that all we can see is what we already know.
Yeah.
Once we get on these rides, we might go, this is nothing like that.
Yeah, and we did get another response. One more response that kind of goes along with what you're saying. The parks want these types right now. If it funds their research and development for their regular stuff, then so be it. Sell copies.
Yeah, sure. Why not? I mean, that's how Vekoma started. Like,
yeah, that's true.
I mean,
I'm kind of in a middle ground here. I think it's kind of reflects poorly on Intamin to do this because they're kind of the company that everyone goes, oh, when you think Intamin, you think brand new concepts, never before seen stuff. And that kind of is being a little hindered right now with this. But I'm also like, you can't fault a company for doing it. But I just think in a way, when people go to Intamin does everything different, and Intamin never does anything, they never copy, they never clone, they never do this, they never do that. Now it's almost like, well, they kind of did now. I'm 100% not on board with going, it's how dare they do this? Why would they, it's a company. They're going to have to do stuff like this sometimes. And I understand that, but I just think that a little bit of their image is being just a little bit, not a huge, but just a little bit tampered. Cause they're just kind of the company that everyone always thinks out of the box, brand new, cool, unique, different stuff. And this kind of isn't that.
Here's just let me play devil's advocate for a second though. Maybe being in the industry, they know that there's actually customers out there that want certain things out of an RMC Raptor that RMC is not able to give them. So, maybe their innovation is actually saying, look, we're actually going to take this and make it different. Yeah, it looks the same. But is the technology going to be the same?
I would say with the Raptor, it's a little different because that's a launch too, and we haven't seen that on that. But I mean, it's a little unique. It's a little different. But I mean, the Power Splash, especially, like that's just plain and simply copy and paste kind of. So,
I agree.
Then the Giga Splash isn't even anything new. I mean, yes, it's cool, but it's nothing new for them. They've built. So last episode, I was going, wait, didn't Mac build something that looks very similar to the Giga Splash? It was actually not Mac. It was actually Intamin. It's an Intamin ride, and that was, I believe it's in Italy. I think it might be at Mirabilandia. They have a ride that is almost the exact same as what the Giga Splash. So it's not really new for them. It's basically just another model that they've already done.
So
they're just making it 300 feet tall.
Intamin, what the heck?
No, but I knew I saw something similar to this. I'm like, wait, I've seen this ride, but like this wasn't like groundbreaking to me. I was like, I've seen that ride before somewhere, and so.
I think the innovation part of that was actually more of the height and
no doubt,
angle of descent.
Yeah,
I think that's what they're. That.
Yeah, I'm not arguing that aspect. I'm just saying that people were like, it seemed like some people were like, whoa, this is like really interesting new design. And I'm like, hey, I've seen this before though. But yeah, the height is definitely impressive, and there's never seen a water ride this tall, so it's going to be awesome. However, with again the Ultra Splash, the Power Splash, same difference kind of. It's just will reflect poorly on Intamin, I think, because I think that although it's just one ride and you're going to copy sometimes, I think it will a little bit damage their image, at least in the enthusiast community, which they might not really care about. But I'm just saying, for enthusiasts to go, oh, Intamin always does something new. And it's like, wait a second. No, remember when they copied the Power? Like, there's always going to be that to kind of go to now because they did pretty much blatantly just Control V kind of there with that. So I'm not 100% on board with like, oh, how dare they how dare they? It's a good business decision. Like we talked about on last week's show. There's cereal brands. I mean, you have Cocoa Puffs, then you have Puffy Cocos, then you have, Thin Wheats, and then Wheat Thins. You have all the different stuff, different brands, different people, and they're all doing very similar things because it sells. If one thing sells, why not copy it? If you can just tweak it a little bit, make it better, why not do it? I mean, it's a smart business move, so I can't fault Intamin for that. But it's definitely
Cocoa Puffs now. You made me hungry.
All right, we're gonna take a break. Well, we're actually getting towards the end of the show, Bob. So that's something that you will be able to do here soon. Just go get some Cocoa Puffs. So
I don't have Cocoa Puffs, and Target's closed.
True. Yeah, everything's closing really early now due to COVID, so you can't go run out and get some.
Yeah.
In the morning, though. In the morning. So let's go
I'll
to bed
struggle
and you can
through
get up
this
early.
night. I'll make it. I'll make it somehow.
We'll end the show here, and you will be able to go to sleep and get up early and go get some Cocoa Puffs.
Or I'll go to sleep and dream about eating.
You'll count the Cocoa Puffs. You'll go cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, right? I'm cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs.
Cocoa Puffs.
All right, so next week's weekly poll is going to be referencing back to Busch Gardens Williamsburg. We're asking the question that if you feel that Busch Gardens Williamsburg will be able to become profitable or at least break even with their Coaster and Craft Brewers event. So do you think they're going to be able to sustain, well, not sustain, but are they going to be able to profit off of this event, basically, is the question. And that includes, I'm going to re-record that. That was really bad. I sometimes just keep talking and don't even know what I'm talking about. I know what
Do you
I'm
want me to just export mine like we usually end up doing at this point? Oh no, we have the photo contest. Huh?
Yeah, and we have we have that Busch Gardens Williamsburg will be able to become profitable or at least break even with their Coaster and Craft Brewers event. So do you think they're going to be able to sustain, well, I'm just going to re-record that. Are they going to be able to part right there? Do you feel Are you ready?
Yep. 3, 2.
That Busch Gardens Williamsburg will be able to profit off of their Coaster and Craft Brewers event. That includes breaking even. So are they going to be able to make money off of this event? And if they do that, are we going to see them reopen fully? Like, that's kind of the question here. That's kind of like what we're leading to into this question is, if they do make a profit, are they going to kind of consider reopening? So yes, the question is, are they going to be able to profit? But if they profit, therefore they probably will stay open. So hopefully they do profit. Hopefully we do see Busch Gardens Williamsburg open. But do you guys think, in reality, they will do so? Do you think it's just going to happen? Kind of. Do you think it's a plausible outcome for them? So that's next week's weekly poll. Answer that. That'll be on our social media, on our website. And I promise to you guys, I will get that up very soon. I'm not going to wait till the day of again. That was very bad. I'm sorry about that. That doesn't normally happen, though. So that is our weekly poll. And something else that's exciting that's going to be popping up here, actually, the day of this podcast being recorded, or the podcast being released, August 2nd, our photo contest round 2 will go live on our website. That means that the audience will be able to vote and narrow the photos down to 10 photos. So we have some pretty good photos, Bob. We both looked through them, and they're pretty good. So it's gonna be kind of hard to narrow it down to 10, but we're gonna have the audience do that. You're gonna go to coachtalkpodcast.com/photo contest, and you can do so. Vote for your favorites.
Yeah, I'm excited to see how this turns out. There are a ton of good ones, and I don't think other than the 1 or 2, I don't think we had to get rid of any. I think everybody's making it on.
Should we tell them which ones we got rid of, though?
Well, somebody, not mentioning any names, somebody that I know decided to take a picture of the Still Vengeance logo with the drop behind, and
and then
I know he did it just to get me.
The title of the photo was "Bob's Gonna Love This."
Yeah.
So we know that was great. That was one of my. I really wanted to keep it because it was a great photo. Actually, it was very crisp, very clean.
James wanted to keep it just because he loves driving me nuts. That's
Earlier
that's all that boils down to.
Earlier we said you want to drive me insane, and I also want to return the favor sometimes. So, So the photo contest will start August 2nd. So the releasing of this podcast. So we record on Thursday night, so it's actually July 30th as of when we're recording this. But August 2nd, when it's recorded that Sunday, we will release the podcast, and we will upload the website, and it'll be up on there so you can vote for your favorites. So that's exciting stuff, guys. That's going to be a 2-week-long voting session. And then we'll get to round 3, and we'll have our judges, who we're going to announce when we get to round 3. We'll announce who the judges are, so it's this anticipation, right? Ooh, who are the judges? I know you guys are so excited, so thrilled to find out who the judges are for this show. And I know it's like that's all you're waiting for. You're like, oh my god, I can barely contain myself right now. We're going to release those guys, and then we'll narrow it down to 3 photos, and that'll be the Kosher Talk Podcast photo contest. Very excited. So, if you want to answer the poll, which I stated earlier, you can go to koshertalkpodcast.com/poll. You can also follow us on our social media accounts, as we'll post it to those as well. Twitter at koshertalk_pod, or follow Bob's kosher account at koshertalkbob. Facebook at koshertalkpod. Instagram at koshertalkpod. If you want to contact the show, go to koshertalkpodcast.com/contact. If you want to get in touch with me or Bob personally, do so by going to james at koshertalkpodcast.com or emailing bob at koshertalkpodcast.com. Thank you guys all so much for listening to this week's episode of Kosher Talk Podcast. It's been a lot of fun. It was a good show, and we'll see you guys all next week.
Yay!
See,
We did it.
We did it live.
We did it live. F it, we did it live.
You realize that's such a contradictory statement, because everything you do in life is technically live.
Well, yeah.
I just
All right.
I just contemplated my whole reality. I am God.
I,
All right, let's try to fix my internet now. Again.
there's no hope.
I swear,
I
maybe
don't know
it's
why.
maybe it's just Google. I don't know. I don't feel like it's
It
Google.
could be. I mean, if everything else is working, maybe it's just a fluke right now.
It's saying no internets though. Like, it's not saying like can't connect. It's saying like I have no internet for Google. I'm gonna run the diagnosis. If it says DNS servers again, I'm gonna go bonkers.
I wonder if it's
I looked up is Google down, and before I even clicked is Google down, it just says no.
what?
Can you see that?
That's powered by Google. So.
I know, it's just funny. It says your DNS server might be unavailable.
I mean, IPv6 is disabled, so maybe go back to your router and see if it's still disabled.
It'd be funny to turn it back on.
It like turned itself back on. It's like we're gonna annoy the heck out of him.
Can it just turn back on automatically without me giving
I
consent?
mean, it shouldn't, but
All right, well, guys, everyone on the live stream, thank you for watching. We'll see you guys all next week.
yep. See you guys.